Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Sonia. Today I'm going to share with you a project that I did in the back of my house, the patio of my house. Well, it wasn't just me who did it. It was my husband, of course, and then this time his brother helped out because he's staying with us at the moment. So we extended the concrete slab of the patio that goes along the side or the back of the house. So I'm going to show you how we did that. If you want to see this exact same video but in Spanish, I will have it linked below. So let's get started. So this is what we are starting with. It actually looks a lot better than when we moved in a year and a half ago. It was way worse. I will link a video, the first video of our backyard renovation that I did, and there I show you how we did like a massive clean out of the backyard. So it definitely looks better than before, but now and I have so many ideas of how I want it to actually look, but for today, I'm just concentrating on getting rid of the dirt. When we first moved in, the entire backyard was dirt. Wherever there wasn't concrete was just dirt. So we installed sod and did all that. But I really need to get rid of the dirt because I have dogs, and so they track in the dirt into the house. And then when it rains, it gets muddy, and I'm tired of cleaning up after them. So not only are we gonna get rid of the dirt here, but it's also gonna extend the square footage of the patio, which I like. So the first step is to clear everything out. So I'm removing any pots or plants that are in the way. In total, since we've moved into this house, we've cut down like 5 or 6 trees in the backyard. And I always feel a little bad cutting down fruit trees, because they give fruit and you can eat it. But they were just all poorly placed, and so they had to go. This one that we're cutting down here is a lime tree. I think that's what it's called. It's not the typical lime, like sour lime tree, so I'm not sure the name. These were actually really big yellow, but they were sweet. Instead of sour. I don't like the taste and it's in the way, so it's gotta go. First, we cut down the branches before digging it out from the roots.
Yeah, let's go. I'ma make a couple stacks, do exactly.
This was the largest of the 3 trees that we removed today, so we thought we'd help ourselves out a bit by wetting the soil around it, hoping to loosen the roots a little bit. Then we took shovels and a pickaxe to start digging. Then he moved to this tiny little axe that he's used to remove all of the trees in the backyard. It's tiny but mighty, so he kept working on this until he eventually got it loose enough to be removed.
Mix a couple tracks, get a lady that I'm drawn to. Turn up to the max, get it faded till I'm gone, dude.
This second tree that we're cutting is right up against the fence. It's in the way again, and it doesn't have any fruit or flowers, so it's got to go. It's a little bit smaller.
Couldn't stop me if you wanted to. I just work hard, yeah, harder than the rest. Some people say I'm lucky, others saying that I'm blessed. But I keep my head down, cause I crave progress. You ain't never gonna stop me, cause it's my conquest. And I'm never gonna rest, yeah. And y'all don't know that I'm a soldier. I always felt like I'm alone, yeah. When everybody thinks they know, yeah.
There was also a third tree right in the corner, which we got rid of. I don't even remember if that was a fruit tree or what it was, but that one went as well. Next, we put down some stakes in the ground and tied rope to it. We weren't actually making the frame yet. We were just kind of getting an idea of how it would lay out, and then also trying to see how even the dirt was.
I don't even know I own ya. And now I'm ready taking over. Cause every day I'm getting closer.
Need to clear out the area by removing bricks like stepping stones and pavers that were on the ground. This entire backyard was like full of bricks. I have a huge pile from the first project that we did, the first renovation, and then from this one too. So if you need any bricks, hit me up. I will give them to you for free.
Just look at everything I'll show ya. And now I'm ready, I'ma blow up.
after we did all the clean out and measured everything out, we realized that the shed that's right next to this area was going to be in the way. I hadn't planned for that. We would have enough room to make the frame to pour the concrete, but when it came down to spreading it out, the shed would be in the way because the tools that are used have like really long handles, and so they would bump up against the shed and weren't going to give us that range of motion that we needed to get it all even out. So we had to knock down the shed. I plan to do this in the future anyway, so this is a good thing, but I hadn't planned to do it so soon, and so the shed was still filled with the previous owner's stuff. We took everything out of the shed, had nowhere else to store it, so we just left it out in the lawn, kind of tried to cover it a little bit. It still looked ugly though. Now, for the actual tear down, this was more like a metal type of material, and the screws were rusted. So when we tried to use the drill, we weren't able to unscrew it that way. So we had to get a little bit creative using a little bit of muscle and hammers, and eventually it did come down. It's so satisfying to see it gone and to see the space just open.
Yeah, now I'm ready, I'ma blow up. Yeah, I'm impatient, I don't ever slow up. I stay young, no, I never grow up. I keep working to the point I throw up. And if you cross me, it was good to know ya. I'm impatient, I don't ever slow up. I stay young, no, I never grow up. I keep working to the point I throw up. And if you cross me, it was good to know ya. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, I'm not the type to take no.
With that out of the way, we dug out the trenches where we put the 2x4s to make the frames, and then we also nailed the stakes to the 2x4s to make sure those don't move when you're pouring the concrete. And it's not pictured here, but we also framed out the AC thing, and also the opening to the crawl space. We made sure, to frame that out for the concrete.
For an answer, I don't deal with people that are like a cancer. No, instead I hang with the people that enhance ya. And I'm not the type to give out second.
Now, for the concrete itself, I debated and I went back and forth between mixing the concrete ourselves and pouring it that way, or purchasing it pre-mixed and having it delivered to the house. So I went online. I used an online calculator and I put in, the measurements of the slab of the area, and it turns out I was going to need about 100 bags of concrete. Then I called a concrete place company that delivers them, and I got a quote from them. So I compared the both, and the delivery of the concrete was only $100 more than purchasing the bags and mixing it ourselves. So I thought it was worth the $100 more to have it delivered, because if we had chosen to mix it ourselves, it's a hassle. You have to go to the store, buy everything, load it up in the truck, drive home, unload it, then mix the bags by hand using a shovel, which, we've done before, but like on smaller projects, and then pour it and then do all that. So for $100 more, I thought it was worth purchasing it pre-mixed. And so that's what I did. And we had it delivered on a Saturday morning. The only downside to that is that the delivery was late 2 hours. So we had asked some family to help us, and they were like here waiting around for 2 hours. But oh well, at least when he got here, we were like ready to go, and we started right away. Like I said, a couple family members came to help us because we had to use wheelbarrows to transport the concrete from the driveway to the back of the house. There was the option to purchase a pump that delivers it straight from the truck to wherever you need it, but that cost $300, and I was like, no, that's too much, not worth it. So I had a wheelbarrow already here, and then my dad let me borrow two more, and we asked these family members to come help us take it to the backyard. So they were wheeling it back there, and then my brother-in-law was in the backyard like receiving it and spreading it out. But that's not a one-man job, which we didn't account for. So his son went and helped him do that. So that wheelbarrow was free, and I took over that one to help them, get it off the truck quicker because it is timed. So you are charged extra if the truck, stands there for for a long time. So I helped them with that. I got a major splinter while doing it, which was too bad. It hurt. And then my wheelbarrow obviously wasn't filled up to the top like the guys, but it was still really heavy, and it was a really good workout. That's partly why I really didn't get great footage of this actual day, the pouring of the concrete. I would like forget to move the camera because I was, busy doing what I was doing. And also because, like I said, we had to be quick. They do charge a standing fee if you take too long. In total, from the time the truck got there till we got it unloaded, it was 30 minutes, which the delivery guy said that's typical. So he didn't charge us any extra. After we got the concrete there, comes the most difficult part, in my opinion, because I mean, anyone with some strength can, wheel around a heavy wheelbarrow and dump it, but it takes real skill to like even it out, smooth it out, and make sure it's gonna actually look nice when it dries. You need all sorts of specialized tools for these, like trowels and floats, which my dad let us borrow. He already had those. And then the larger tools, the ones with the long handles, I think they're called like placers or brooms, something like that. Those my brother in law borrowed from his work. He works in paving, so he was really leading this. It's similar, I guess. He's never done cement, he said, but it's similar to paving. And so he borrowed those from his work with permission, of course, and he took over this part of really making sure it was going to look nice. So he put the finishing touches on it. My husband helped as well and kind of picked up some tricks and learned a little bit for next time that we need to pour concrete.
I just wanna work on my own for myself. I don't need no help, not anybody else. Nah, man, I got it dealt. I'm working on my wealth and I'm working on my health. Keep on working to excel, cause I'm working on myself, yeah. And y'all don't know that I'm a soldier.
And this is the final result. I know that probably the professional company, masonry company, would have probably gotten it a lot smoother or I don't know, even. But I'm happy with the way it turned out. I think it looks great, and it is actually even. We tested it out with some water. There was only like one spot where there's a water puddle and it's small. So I'm happy with how it turned out. Before starting, I did call a couple of concrete masonry companies to come out and give me a quote, but no one answered my calls. I think they're like super busy right now. So I didn't get a quote. But if I were to guess, I would say that hiring a professional to do this project would have cost maybe $2,000, $2,500 with the size of this. In total, we use 3.5 cubic yards of concrete. And in total, what we invested in the supplies and the concrete was $916.25. So that's over half of savings by doing it ourselves. Of course, this time we had more help, more than just my husband and I didn't pay them cash per se, but I'm sure I will find a way to repay them. Now it's like a blank canvas here with so many options. I'm trying to decide whether to extend the patio covering, which right now is made of metal, or if to install a pergola, those nice ones that are wood with like a little sheer covering for a little covering of the sun. I'm not sure. I think also maybe this area would be nice with some patio furniture, like a fire pit thing. I'm not sure. If you have any ideas of how I can use this space, please leave them in the comments below. And any questions you have, of course, you can leave them there as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
When everybody thinks they know ya.